Hi everybody, this is Merav, and this is an overview of Joomla Guru, the new learning and training system for Joomla. So what we're going to do, we're going to go over the front end, and then we're going to go over the back end. Let's start with the homepage. As you can see on the homepage, I can see a list of categories, different courses categories. As you can see, I have 6 categories here, and if we open, for example, the Joomla category, we can see that we have another category inside called Joomla Beginners, and if I click on that, I can see the courses inside this category. So there's unlimited amount of nested categories that you can add and have your courses inside it. Now let's take a look at the course page. If I click on it, I can see that I have a tree with a table of contents and all the different modules and lessons inside each module. On the right side, I can see the difficulty level icon and whether I viewed it or not. As soon as I click on an item, on a lesson, I can see that I will see the viewed icon here. Now let's take a look at another course because I want to show you a few other tabs. Let's go to our Joomla extensions. We have a great course for our Joomla ad agency. And here we have a few more tabs. So we have the table of contents, we have the description where you enter the description of the course, we have the pricing tab, which is where you show the different subscription plans that you have available for this course. And you can also have exercise files if you want to give away different exercise files like PDFs or anything really, you can add them here. And we have a tab for the teacher with the teacher biography, some emails to their blog, Twitter, Facebook. These are all optional fields, and of course the courses by this teacher if somebody's interested. On the requirements, you can see that you can set other courses to be required, a prerequisite for this particular course, and you can list them here, and you can also enter any type of other requirements that you have. Now let's go back to the table of contents. Each one of those modules and lessons, you can set whether you are allowing a public access to it or just people who paid for it, or you can also set it to show only for members. Okay, so let's see what happens if I'm not a member and I don't have access. I'm going to log out. And now you can see that there is no more underline for the lesson. And if I click on it, it will tell me you need to be a subscriber to access this lesson or file, and it's asking me to choose a plan and to click continue. So this is how you're gonna get people to buy your courses, by making some of the lessons free that they can see what it is as a teaser, and some of the lessons, and most of the lessons, shouldn't be free. They should be limited to just students. Or if you have a membership site, you can limit it to only members. Okay, and we also have teachers list that we can see all the teachers in our classroom, I guess. Now let's move on to the back end. Now the back end, it's very comprehensive. As you can see, we have here the C panel with different buttons to different areas of the site, the most important areas. Here on the right we have tabs that say, okay, here's the changelog, there's nothing in it right now. Here are some news, here's some video tutorials, here are some news from iJoomla and the iJoomla blog with different tutorials and very good information. Now let's take a look at the settings. We have many different settings that allow you full control over everything that's going on the front and on the back end. On the general settings, you can set general stuff like do you want to open the lesson in a new window or in the same window, and what size is going to be for that window. The media storage, you can set where you want to store the different media that you upload. The layouts is how you control what everything on the front end looks like. For example, on the tabs on the course page, you can choose if you want to show the different tabs or not, which one to show, etc. You can choose if you want to show a buy now button or not, how many rows and columns on the list of categories, etc. Everything you control over here. The style is where you determine what the style sheet or the classes you're going to use for each of the elements on the page. Each of the elements has a style or a class assigned to it, and you can either use it or choose a different class. Okay, and on the right side is where you edit all the classes. If you don't know cascading style sheet, just stay away from it. The progress bar is really cool. It's where you choose the colors and the height and width of the progress bar and whether to show it or not. Now let me show you what I mean by a progress bar. I'm going to go to the front end and go back to the Ad Agency class or course. Now if I click on the first lesson, you can see that there is a progress bar here on top, and this is the progress bar we're referring to. You can change the colors of what's already done and what's still not done, and also what is the color of the course that we are on right now, which is in this case is yellow. So this is the progress bar. The email is where you set up the emails that are coming out of the system. What is the from name and the email. The promotion box is the promotion box I just showed you earlier, this one, and you can set the text to show on top of the plans. Okay, so this is how you do it. You do it right here. And payment plugins will show you all the different payment plugins that are available for this extension. Now we have a few managers. We're going to go over it very quickly. Teachers manager is where you add the teachers and you edit the teachers. Student manager is where you edit and manage the students, and you can add new ones, of course. The orders manager is where you see all the orders that come into the system, and you can add also your own orders. And please view, there is a special video for that. The promotion code is where you set up all your promotion codes if you want to give discounts. It's a very good way to get more sales. And languages is where you edit the language files. You have one for the back end and one for the front end. Now let's go to the main event, which is the courses. This is where you see all your courses, and if you can see, this column will take you to the course tree, and this column will take you to the edit info. So if we go to the course tree, for example, you can see that this is a visual representation of what's happening on the front end, and I'll show you how it looks like on the front end. This tree is the same as this tree. Okay, so if you want to move things around, you can simply drag and drop them, or you can add a new lesson or a new module. You can do everything you do about your course. It's right here on this tree. Let's take a look at adding a module. You click on Add Module, you enter a name, and you select a media or text, and you choose the access level, and you save. That's it. Now let's take a look at adding a lesson. Adding a lesson is a little more complex, but it's very powerful. Here you can enter the title and choose the level, and here you can choose what kind of a layout this lesson will have. And you can have the orange is for media, the gray is for text, the question mark is for quiz, and you can have a combination of, let's say, two media on the left and text on the right, or two media on the top and text at the bottom, or pretty much any combination possible. We have it right here for you. At the bottom you can set jump buttons, which means if you want them to be able to jump to a different page, they can do that. Let me give you an example. I'm going to click on this, and if you see at the bottom you have two jump buttons, one saying Ad Agency already installed, and this one says skip to settings, which means they don't have to go and view all the lessons, the entire lesson if they're already done what's inside it. So the jump buttons allow you to do that. Moving on to the next tab, we have narration and sound, which means you can load a lesson with some audio playing, and it can be your own voice explaining them what to do, or it can be some kind of music background or whatever you want it to be, and here's where you can select the video. And of course, publishing and meta tags is pretty self-explanatory. Now if we go back to the courses manager, you can see that we have an edit info, which means It's everything else related to the course. It's not the course tree anymore. It's everything else. It's the description and the category and the image of the course, the exercise files. You can add them right here. The pricing, this is where you select which subscription plans are available for this course and which renewal plans are available, and which are the email reminders that you will send. And here on the right you can set the pricing for the subscription and the renewal plans. And once again, we have the requirements that we saw here. You can set them right here. So these tabs are pretty much reflecting what's happening here, more or less. And of course meta tags is pretty self-explanatory, as well as publishing. Now let's move on to the media library, because that's another core feature of Guru. Here you can add many types of media that you can possibly think of. Here you can see we have, in each icon represents a different type of media. We have movies, text, images, files, links, etc. If you click on new, you can see that it's very easy to add new type of media. You just select the type, for example video, and new fields will appear that will allow you to add, for example, the video, any type of video format. You can enter a code, a URL, or you can actually upload the file. And here you can set the size of the video and whether it autoplays or not. And if you choose, for example, file, you'll see different fields. So this is how you add media. And now you can, once you add this media, you can use it and reuse it again and again on different courses. So you don't have to add them more than once. Let's take a look at quizzes. Quizzes are cool because they allow you to test the progress of the student. Let's open one quiz, for example. Here you can see you can enter the name, the description, and you can start adding questions to this quiz. So it's not just one question, you can add as many as you want. And you do that by clicking add question. You enter your question here, the possible answers, and also which one of the answers is correct. You can have more than one answer correct. And then you save, and that's how you add questions to your quiz. And this quiz will show up on the front end. Now, and the last part we're going to talk about is the subscriptions. Here's where you set up subscription plans for your courses. For example, you can set, I have a few by default here, 1 month, 3 months, 1 year, 6 months, and unlimited. It's very easy to create a new plan. You simply click on new, you enter the name, and you choose the term. For example, 1 day or 1 month or whatever, okay? And that's how you add subscription plans. The email reminders are email that will be sent when the subscription is expired or is about to expire, and that is a reminder for them to renew their subscription. And again, once again, it's very easy to create a new subscription email. You just click new, and you start filling out the email here, email content, and you can use any of the variables on top. For example, the course name and when it expired, and a link for them to renew it. So this is a very powerful system that will keep your student up to date with their subscription status, and it will increase your conversion rate because people will be notified when their subscription is expired or is about to expire. So this is it. This is the overview of Guru. I hope you found it useful. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us, and we'll be happy to help you. Thank you.